a number of years. I see it and I think, how in the world would you do that? Why would you do that if you're not going to inter something underneath it? And if there is something underneath it, then it's got to be valuable to those persons.
What if, after more than 200 years of failure, the mystery of Oak Island has finally been solved? For over a decade, the team from The Curse of Oak Island has chased one of the world's greatest treasure hunts, searching deep beneath the infamous money pit for evidence that could change history forever. But now, everything may have changed. A leaked 2026 episode is making waves online, with insiders claiming the team has uncovered hidden structures, unexplained underground voids, and a discovery so extraordinary that it could finally reveal what has been buried beneath Oak Island all along. Is this the breakthrough treasure hunters have been waiting centuries for? Or just another twist in a mystery that refuses to be solved? Before we uncover the evidence, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because we bring you the latest mysteries, hidden discoveries, and unbelievable historical revelations you won't want to miss. Stay with us until the very end, because what the team discovered might completely change everything we thought we knew about Oak Island. Researchers recently used ground-penetrating radar, a technology often compared to an X-ray for the ground, to scan beneath Oak Island. What appeared on those scans surprised everyone. Instead of scattered underground cavities, they revealed an extensive network of tunnels and chambers stretching far beyond previous expectations. Even more intriguing, the layout didn't appear random. The passageways seemed to follow a precise geometric design, leading some researchers to compare the pattern with symbols long associated with the legendary Knights Templar. For decades, theories have suggested that the Templars may have hidden something valuable on Oak Island. Whether those stories are true has always been debated, but the latest findings have reignited the conversation. And the biggest surprise wasn't piles of gold or priceless jewels. According to recent claims, investigators uncovered sealed containers protecting ancient manuscripts from moisture and decay. The writings are said to be in an unfamiliar language that experts have not yet identified, raising hopes that they could reveal the real purpose behind the mysterious underground system. Specialists are now working to decode the texts, believing they may contain clues that have remained hidden for centuries. If authentic, they could transform our understanding of Oak Island's past. Located off the coast of Nova Scotia, this small forest-covered island has fascinated explorers ever since the discovery of the famous money pit. While many arrived searching for legendary riches, the latest discoveries suggest that history itself may prove to be the greatest treasure buried beneath the island. Stories of pirate gold, the lost jewels of Marie Antoinette, forgotten royal treasures, and even the Holy Grail have all been connected to Oak Island over the years. Those legends have inspired generations of treasure hunters to invest enormous amounts of time, money, and effort in hopes of uncovering the island's secret. For more than 2 centuries, countless expeditions have dug, drilled, and excavated the site, yet the mystery has remained unsolved. Among the discoveries attracting renewed attention is a coin believed by some to have connections with the Knights Templar. The artifact immediately sparked debate among historians and archaeologists. Could it represent evidence that the famous medieval order once reached Oak Island? If so, the implications could extend far beyond hidden treasure, potentially revealing a chapter of history that has remained unknown for hundreds of years. Even with these discoveries, Oak Island continues to raise more questions than answers. Every artifact recovered seems to deepen the mystery instead of solving it. Another object drawing attention is a medieval crossbow bolt believed to date back to the 13th century, the same era in which the Knights Templar reached the height of their influence. Its presence has fueled fresh speculation about whether members of the order may have visited or perhaps even established a presence on the island centuries ago. Then there is Nolan's Cross, one of Oak Island's most famous landmarks. For years, it has inspired theories linking the island to the Templars, hidden maps, and carefully planned secret locations. Each new discovery seems to fit another piece into an increasingly complex puzzle, suggesting that Oak Island's history may be far more extraordinary than anyone once imagined. Yet the investigation is far from over. Every new excavation uncovers another layer of mystery, leaving researchers wondering what still lies beneath the island's surface. If the legends surrounding the Knights Templar contain even a small element of truth, the most important discovery may still be waiting underground. Of course, extraordinary claims deserve careful examination, Not every exciting discovery turns out to support the popular theories surrounding Oak Island. That's why researchers continue investigating every clue with caution. One of their current priorities is locating a possible flood tunnel, believed by many to connect directly to the famous Money Pit. If such a tunnel exists, it could explain why previous excavations repeatedly filled with seawater and failed to reach their destination. During one recent excavation near the suspected tunnel, the team uncovered a wooden plank resting near the water level. Its position immediately raised questions. Was it left behind by the people who originally built the underground system, or did it belong to one of the many search teams that explored the island over the past 2 centuries? As work continued, investigators discovered another large timber, along with a massive structural beam that appeared intentionally placed. Both pieces were carefully removed for examination, offering another opportunity to learn more about the underground construction. Archaeologist Emma joined the investigation to analyze the newly recovered materials. One of her goals is determining the age of nearby concrete. If testing confirms it dates to the 1960s, it could be linked to an earlier search operation and help distinguish modern excavation work from much older structures. That information may eventually guide researchers toward the long-theorized flood tunnel. The excavation then revealed an even larger wooden beam buried beneath the site, providing strong evidence that significant human construction once existed underground. Whether it belonged to an early treasure hunt or to something far older remains uncertain, but each new discovery brings the team one step closer to understanding the true story hidden beneath Oak Island. As the day's excavation came to an end, attention shifted to the war room, where Marty Lagina joined Rick Lagina, Craig Tester, and the rest of the team through a video conference. The discussion centered on one goal that has driven the Oak Island search for years: finding the legendary flood tunnel that many believe protects the Money Pit. Every new discovery, especially the massive wooden beams recovered underground, added another piece to a mystery that has challenged generations of treasure hunters. At the same time, Emma Colligan and material specialist AIO were examining large concrete fragments recovered from Smith's Cove. Using advanced X-ray imaging and laboratory analysis, they determined the concrete contained Portland cement mixed with sand and gravel. The results suggested the cement originated from sources used in Canada, while the sand appeared consistent with material found in Nova Scotia. Now the question was no longer what the concrete was made of, but who placed it there and when. Was it connected to the original builders, or was it left behind during a later search expedition? Every test seemed to bring investigators one step closer to the truth. Another exciting discovery soon followed. Additional concrete samples recovered near Smith's Cove appeared to match a type commonly produced during the early 20th century. Researchers began considering whether the material had been used to reinforce or seal part of the long-rumored flood tunnel, the elaborate system many believe was designed to flood the Money Pit with seawater whenever anyone dug too deep. If that theory proved correct, it would explain why so many expeditions failed despite decades of effort. Then the team uncovered something even more significant: a vertical shaft near Smith's Cove. Rick Lagina, Craig Tester, and Scott Barlow immediately inspected the site. There they found an unusual arrangement of stones. Large boulders had been carefully positioned in a straight formation, while smaller rocks had been deliberately packed beneath them. The pattern appeared far too organized to be the result of natural geological processes. Craig believed the stonework showed clear signs of human construction. If the alignment continued beneath the ground, it could point directly toward the original Money Pit that searchers have pursued for centuries. The discovery highlighted the incredible level of engineering that may have gone into Oak Island's underground system. Whoever created it appears to have invested enormous effort into designing structures capable of surviving for generations while protecting whatever lay hidden below. Elsewhere on Lot 5, Peter Fornetti and metal detecting expert Gary Drayton continued examining soil removed from a circular stone foundation. Previous excavations at the site had already produced remarkable artifacts, including 17th century Venetian trade beads, fragments of fine Italian glass, mortar material resembling samples recovered from deep inside the Money Pit, and iron tools associated with Sir William Phipps, the English treasure hunter famous for recovering the Spanish galleon Concepcion in 1687. The latest discovery generated even greater excitement. Buried near the foundation was a copper belt plate unlike anything previously recovered from the area. If the artifact carried military markings or identifiable symbols, it might reveal who occupied the site centuries ago, and possibly provide new clues about the people connected to Oak Island's greatest mystery. The plate was carefully preserved and sent for detailed laboratory analysis, where the team hoped Emma Culligan could determine its age and origin. The following morning, Craig Tester and several team members met with blacksmithing specialist Carmen Legge to examine the unusual artifact. Every expert opinion brought another perspective, and each new piece of evidence helped build a clearer picture of Oak Island's complicated past. With every discovery, the possibility of identifying those responsible for the island's mysterious underground structures became increasingly realistic. Meanwhile, Emma Culligan and AIO continued studying the copper plate using advanced equipment, including a SkyScan CT scanner and X-ray fluorescence analysis. The tests revealed an alloy containing copper, zinc, iron, lead, and traces of arsenic. This combination suggested manufacturing techniques far older than the era when the money pit was first discovered over 2 centuries ago. The findings immediately sparked speculation that the artifact might date back to the late 17th century. That possibility revived one of Oak Island's oldest legends involving Sir William Phipps, the English captain who became famous after recovering enormous quantities of treasure from the wreck of the Spanish ship Concepcion. Some researchers have long believed that part of this treasure may have been transported to Oak Island and concealed on Lot 5 before disappearing from history. Researcher Scott Clark has also proposed connections between Phipps, early Freemasonry, and several mysterious structures found across the island. While the theory remains controversial, it offers another possible explanation for the carefully planned engineering discovered beneath the surface. Even so, the team understands that not every legend surrounding Oak Island is supported by reliable evidence. Separating historical fact from centuries of rumors remains one of the greatest challenges facing the investigation. As excavations continue around the money pit, researchers keep uncovering tunnels, wooden structures, and historical artifacts that deepen the mystery rather than solve it. For generations, explorers have arrived hoping to recover the legendary treasure believed to rest beneath the island, yet the secret has remained hidden despite countless attempts. Recently, the Lagina brothers and their team made another intriguing discovery while metal detecting. They recovered a decorative object featuring a distinctive keyhole-shaped design resembling a flower. The unusual shape immediately sparked speculation about whether it might be connected to stories surrounding Captain James Anderson and his alleged lost treasure chests. Although no direct evidence confirms the connection, the discovery added another fascinating chapter to Oak Island's long history. Every artifact recovered seems to raise new questions instead of providing final answers. One of the most famous discoveries dates back to the late 19th century, when the Oak Island Treasure Company reportedly reached a depth of approximately 153 feet and encountered what appeared to be cement before recovering a tiny fragment of parchment. Despite its small size, that fragile piece of writing became one of the island's most discussed artifacts because it hinted that written documents might exist deep below the surface. Today, that parchment remains at the center of one of Oak Island's most extraordinary theories. Some researchers have suggested it could be connected to lost writings attributed to William Shakespeare or individuals associated with Francis Bacon, the philosopher, scientist, and author often linked to historical mysteries. While no convincing evidence has confirmed those claims, the theory continues to capture the imagination of historians and treasure hunters alike, proving once again that Oak Island remains one of the world's most fascinating unsolved mysteries. The mystery doesn't stop there. Another theory that has fascinated researchers for years centers on Francis Bacon, the philosopher, scientist, and explorer, whose name has long been linked to William Shakespeare. Some historians have argued that Bacon may have been the true author behind Shakespeare's famous works. According to one of Oak Island's most intriguing legends, a fragment of parchment discovered deep inside the money pit could be connected to those lost writings. If that extraordinary claim were ever proven, it wouldn't just reshape Oak Island's history, it could completely change one of literature's greatest debates. Another fascinating figure connected to the island is Samuel Ball. Born into slavery in South Carolina, Ball later fought for the British during the American Revolution before settling in Nova Scotia, where he eventually became one of Oak Island's largest landowners. Recent excavations on his former property, known as Lot 24, uncovered several intriguing artifacts, including old coins, military buttons, and part of a revolver. These discoveries have sparked fresh questions. Was Samuel Ball simply a successful farmer, or did he know something about the island's hidden secrets? While no definitive evidence answers that question, each artifact adds another layer to his remarkable story. One of Oak Island's most enduring mysteries remains the famous inscribed stone reportedly recovered from the Money Pit centuries ago. Covered with unusual symbols that have never been conclusively translated, the stone has inspired countless theories. Some believe the markings conceal directions to a hidden treasure, while others argue they may contain a coded historical message. Without the original stone available for modern analysis, its true meaning remains one of the greatest unanswered questions surrounding Oak Island. Attention has also returned to Sir William Phipps, whose incredible treasure recovery in 1687 continues to influence many Oak Island theories. Phipps famously salvaged enormous quantities of gold, silver, and valuable cargo from the Spanish galleon Concepcion, which had sunk decades earlier near present-day Dominican Republic. During a later expedition, he worked alongside Captain Andrew Belcher, a merchant with reported Freemason connections. Researcher Scott Clark believes Belcher and his associates may have secretly transported part of the recovered treasure to the Oak Island region instead of delivering everything to England. If investigators can establish a direct connection between Phipps, Belcher, and the mysterious circular structure discovered on Lot 5, it could explain several long-standing mysteries, including who may have constructed underground vaults beneath the swamp. Some theories even suggest former landowner Anthony Graves may have unknowingly discovered part of a hidden cache of Spanish silver in that area many years ago. Although these ideas remain unproven, every new discovery encourages researchers to keep searching for evidence. Gary Drayton and Alex Lagina continue surveying the island with metal detectors, hoping additional artifacts will help confirm or reject these historical theories. Their previous discoveries include large ship spikes believed to predate the 1795 discovery of the Money Pit, along with the famous 14th century lead cross that many researchers associate with the Knights Templar. Each artifact provides another valuable clue about who may have visited Oak Island centuries before modern treasure hunting began. Meanwhile, excavation efforts at Smith's Cove have intensified after the team identified promising targets beneath massive shoreline boulders. Time is critical because shifting rocks and incoming tides continually refill the excavation area. Expanding the dig site, the team eventually uncovered a heavily corroded metal object buried beneath the shoreline. Archaeologist Laird Niven and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan carefully cleaned and examined the artifact before identifying it as a cast-iron stove door decorated with a distinctive starburst pattern. The design immediately caught the team's attention because it closely resembled decorative elements found on another artifact recovered from the stone feature on Lot 5 during an earlier season. Gary wondered whether the matching patterns indicated a connection between the two discoveries. Emma explained that although starburst designs were relatively common on historic cast-iron stoves, laboratory analysis offered additional clues. The metal's chemical composition, particularly its manganese content, suggested the stove was most likely manufactured during the mid-19th century rather than the 18th century. Determining its exact manufacturer could help reveal how the object arrived at Smith's Cove and whether it relates to earlier treasure hunting operations. Despite the uncertainty, the discovery reinforced the importance of continuing excavations beneath the shoreline rocks. Every recovered object helps researchers reconstruct the complex history of activity on Oak Island, separating original construction from the work of later searchers.